Dorothy Wallis has been saying yes to life long before life was trending. Tonight is the 40th anniversary of the Celebrate Life Banquet and Gala. But there's more. This marks 45 years since Caring to Love Ministries actually began. 45 years. And guess what? There are over 87,000 lives born right here in Baton Rouge area since that time. Now you've heard in over 135,000 clients here at Caring to Love Ministries, and all say thank you, Dorothy Wallis and Caring to Love Ministries, for helping them choose life. And thank you for helping them choose life. Recently, Dorothy received a Lifetime Achievement Award 3 years ago for being the longest serving pregnancy clinic director in the nation. Let's recognize her for that.
Thank you so much. And of course, we give the Lord all the glory for all that He's allowed us to accomplish. And it was so wonderful to be able to walk around the room today and listen to some of the stories and how Caring to Love Ministries, the Care Pregnancy Clinic, touched your heart, and how we were able to intervene in a crisis in your life, and how your baby was placed for adoption, and how God brought you together. It was just wonderful to be able to, last year, we actually had the little baby boy that I had brought over to the Mary, I think her name was Mary, and her husband. She was born as a result of a young lady who had a crisis pregnancy, and it was kind of interesting to be able to sit out there and look at them, the adopted mother, the natural mother, and the adopted, and the actual Mary who adopted the little boy. So it's just wonderful to see what God is doing in many, many lives. But anyway, hello, my name is Dorothy Wallis, and I am President and CEO of Caring to Love Ministries, Care Pregnancy Clinic, and on behalf of the board, and behalf of the volunteers, and especially the preteens, little girls, and the young ladies that we serve, I just want to thank you so much for being here. And we thank God for the special heroes who, and I am the oldest director, that means I can put some glasses on, who helped 402 babies get saved this year in 2025. And we had 323. Thank you, Lord. Yeah. 323 made faith commitments. And it's amazing just to know that our altars are open 5 days a week. We also provided mothers with compassionate, life-affirming services, STDs, ultrasound, medical consultation, abortion reversal, and many more. What's important about our service that we provide is that we intervene at the most critical, decisive moment when the abortion is in process these days. And we have had, as Tony mentioned, 135,156 clients that we've seen, and 9,924 faith commitments. Is that amazing? That's awesome. To God be the glory. Yeah. Yeah. So that's 6,522 no services provided, no charge for the service that we provided to 829 clients, and over 16,380 phone calls, text messages, emails, and online messaging for subsequent services that we provided, and 7,583 meals that we have provided. And we are providing meals and diapers and formula because of SNAP. There's a lot of young ladies that need to have formula for their babies, that need diapers and wipes for their babies. And that's what we're providing services for those young mothers who chose life. And we told her that we would be with her. So even though her public assistance has dwindled a little bit, we're there for her. And we thank you when we send out that email for the diapers and formula. For many of you have responded to that, and we're so grateful that we are able to provide those services for those young ladies. And tonight I want to acknowledge some special heroes. That special heroes is you, and also the Care Pregnancy Clinic medical staff and the Caring to Love Ministries administrative staff. I'm grateful for those heroes that have been here for 4 decades, day in and day out, helping us save lives. And then the other special heroes is certainly the sponsors and the table hosts that intentionally invited you to our banquet for you to see the vision and to see how you can become a part of what we're doing here. Because if it was not the church, if the church does not help us provide the resources that we need to provide this life-affirming services, there's nobody else that will. And so it has to be God's people that helps us. Another special guest, a hero I would like to mention, that is Bob and Lydia Bernay, Nikki and Christy Bernay. We're so grateful for Bob and Lydia. Bob was a Washington Redskin fullback, and he lent his name for our Bernay's CPC Golf Classic, and we are so grateful for them. And for the 33 years of our golf tournament, over $1 million was raised, and 2,777 babies have been saved as a result of that golf tournament. So we're just so thankful. Yeah. So thankful. And another special hero is Don Wallis. That's my husband. My husband is, yes. Yep. My husband, who has stood by me for 45 years in this ministry, as we worked hard to save babies and mothers from abortion. And so I so appreciate his dedication and allowing me to do the work that God's called me to do. Genesis 1:27 says, so God created man in his own image, and image of God, he created them male and female. You know, God created these babies for a purpose, just like he has purpose for each and every one of us on purpose. And so it's so important that we continue to keep the vision of saving lives. I want to share with you 4 life-changing stories. Rena, a 19-year-old, ended her pregnancy and ended her life at the same time. She had a chemical abortion, and she went to the emergency room not once, not twice, but 3 times. And she told them the rating of her pain, abdominal pain, was a 10. By the time they found out that she had sepsis, it was too late. The infection was likely caused by the abortion bacteria that entered into her uterus, and the baby died. Also, want to share with you about Kashmir. Some of you may have heard me last year or the year before speak about her. She was a young lady that wanted to have her baby. She had multiple abortions, and sometimes these young girls want to have that replacement baby because they made a mistake and had an abortion and regretted it. And now they have a placement. But she wanted to let us know why she had that abortion, what happened. And she was given an ultimatum that either she take the abortion pill or the relationship was ended. Well, she said she didn't think that she would go into labor. She was wrong. She said it was the worst pain that she had ever experienced. It was definitely not a gentle experience. And she started cramping at 10 o'clock, and then 2 o'clock it was intensified. The pain was so crippling, when she stood up, she couldn't stand, and she fell on the floor. She was so weak, rolling around on the floor, screaming and crying, and finally was able to get her cell phone to call her friend and take her to the emergency room. There has been a 79% increase of women going to the ER for abortion pill complications. Abortion pill dispensaries advise these women to tell the ER that they're having a miscarriage. Tell them the ER, the doctor that's going to care for you, lie to them. And basically what that does, it diminishes the doctor's ability to properly care for that young girl. So we applaud the 51 senators who agreed to look at a safety review for the abortion drug mifepristone, and also we applaud Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Last month, a 17-year-old girl, I'll call her Lacey, she came in to the Care Pregnancy Clinic with her grandmother and with her aunt. And Lacey met her baby for the very first time on the ultrasound. But her grandmother wasn't going to have it. Her grandmother said that her mother, who was deceased, and Lacey was her granddaughter, that she wished that her mother would have aborted Lacey. And so therefore, she wouldn't have any complications with the daughter. So we knew that we were going to have problems with this situation with the aunt and the grandmother. So in front of the aunt and the grandmother, we let the little girl know that we had child protection phone number in her area, gave her the phone number, and that if she was going to be forced to have that abortion, that she was to call child protection. We also called child protection in the Mississippi area where she lived, and as a result of our follow-up phone calls, she is now in custody of child protection because they did try to make her have an abortion. Finally, a few weeks ago, there was a young lady who came in, and it's something about the abortion pills that these girls get from East Cambodia, India. When they communicate, when they purchase the abortion pills, they're communicating, but once they pay for that abortion pill, there's no more communication. So no follow-up call, nothing to follow up with. So this young girl comes into the Care Pregnancy Clinic, had already taken the abortion pill, and when she had learned, the nurse wanted to let her know exactly what type of experience that she was going to have taking that abortion pill. So we did the ultrasound. And what we saw on that ultrasound was two little babies, twins. And their heartbeat was very, very low heartbeat. And at that time, we let her know, do you know? And when she saw the twins, it was just an eye-opener to her because she had, a few years later, had 2 abortions. And then now she sees these twins. And her heart was changed. So we got in contact with Tessa and Dr. Dickerson, and we were able to get the antidote to reverse that abortion. Yes, as a result of that, yes, to God be the glory. Yeah. So when Tessa saw her on her follow-up visit, that heartbeat, the baby's heartbeats are really strong. And then when I was at another church, I was over at Jefferson Baptist Church, I was sharing this testimony and just happened to be the attendant physician that is helping that young girl. And she said that the babies are doing just fine. Isn't that amazing? Yes, so God is amazing. So hundreds of young girls, Rena, Kashmir, Lacey, and Ellie, really need our help. Without our help, these young girls with these crisis pregnancies have no other solution but to abort without our help. So, as the state of Louisiana stood strong in protecting life in 2021 before dismantling Roe v. Wade, Louisiana recorded approximately 7,444 abortions in 2021. After the ban in 2022, it reduced down to 4,570. But here's the situation that people don't realize, that when our Louisiana girls go across state lines to Arizona, to New Mexico, to Kentucky, to New York, they have to give their driver's license before they can have the abortion. So we now know that where these girls are having their abortions, and we now know that that 2024 statistics show 7,520 abortions, telemedicine abortions, have occurred from Louisiana girls across the nation. So no, abortion in Louisiana has not stopped. Illegal abortions have continued. And I have to say, church, please don't abandon what we're doing here. Because yes, we are an abortion-free state, but these girls are going to abortion-protected states to have their abortions, and we need your help more than ever. So did you know that in the June 2020 FDA report, 28 young girls and women had the abortion pill, and many of them believed that it was going to be a simple procedure like Tylenol. But I don't know if I can direct your attention to the list of these girls that died as a result of so-called legal abortion. I know Ms. Magazine is trying to promote that abortion-free states are not providing the health care that women need. We're keeping them from getting the health care they need. Well, that's false. Because as a matter of fact, last year we sent 2 girls with ectopic pregnancies to Women's Hospital emergency room. Think about it. If they would have taken that abortion pill, it would have been fatal with that ectopic pregnancy. So we are actually the Consumer Protection Agency that you would think any type of drug that they would have that would have this much damage to women and to their babies should have, by all right, been taken off of and no longer for sale. But it's the evil injustice about abortion. So every week, we're sending a girl to women's emergency room for bleeding. And so it is very much of a dangerous situation. So you may ask, somebody would ask me, well, Dorothy, basically, if you would calculate the services that we provide by the amount of money of how much it would cost if we were a government agency that was regulated by the government, we would probably have about $1.5 to $1.8 million in income, because there's no agency like ours, or there's no ministry like ours, that people won't do what we do. And that would be the type of income that we would normally have. I had written it down in your book. I'd written a little, just did a cost analysis on that. And if somebody would ask me, Dorothy, would you be a head of a government agency? And I've said, absolutely not. First and foremost, the gospel of Jesus Christ is first and foremost. Without the Lord Jesus Christ, we have nothing. Second of all, if I couldn't talk about God's forgiveness and his mercy and just his compassion and his love, I couldn't do that. But hypothetically, Dorothy, let's just ask, if you had as much money as you needed, what would you do? Well, I would put together a marketing campaign that could reach into the young girl before the abortion pill gets to her house. I would hire staff. We need nurses to manage the late hour calls, because that's when the girls are taking the abortion pill. That's when they want to call somebody and say, okay, do I take the first pill or the second pill? They need to speak to somebody, and we need to hire nurses at night to be able to handle those phone calls, when they're calling and they're bleeding out, and we're telling them, please go to the emergency room, and they're scared because they know it's an illegal procedure and they don't want to go to the emergency room. I tell you, we really have a problem here in Louisiana, and people are not speaking about it, but we are seeing that firsthand, and you can tell I'm sharing my heart about that. So your financial support provides the necessary life-affirming medical consultation, the ultrasound, the abortion reversal education and services, the 24-hour decision line. We cannot allow our non-medical staff to be talking to young girls about the abortion pill. We have to have a RN that would be doing that after hours. So we appreciate your help, and please pray that you'll give your best gift tonight to help us save the lives. And also, by giving your best gift, I also want to say that you deserve that 50% tax credit by giving that donation to us. I think that tax credit is available by a certain amount. And so they'll be talking about that. But thank you so very much, and God bless you. And it's been a pleasure serving the Lord. Yeah.